everyone. I am back. 10 to platinum for y'all. I waited, and I waited. This channel was not started to be a political channel. You all might know or might not know, I'm Stella Less Lumpy AF on Instagram. And the whole point of that Instagram began in around 2015 because I was super morbidly obese after giving birth to twins, having a complicated birth that I'll speak about sometime in my life, but they left the second placenta in me. Fraternal twins. You got two of everything. But the result of that was lots and lots of weight gain, Abilify, postpartum depression medication, and a lot of health issues. I got to, the Children's Defense Fund a lot further back because my wonderful, beautiful baby boy, Talon, has Asperger's, which is an ability that I encourage. And my child, I love him the way that he is, but he was not always that way. It was after a vaccination that my mother and best friend, may she rest in peace, Nate Mary Bush, and I noticed that Talon was banging his head on the sliding glass door in Waldorf, Maryland. And I started going down a long rabbit hole then. So the Maha movement is near and dear to my heart because I was over there a long time ago trying to get answers for my son. I am the chick, red dye number 40, non-GMO, organic, Jack LaLanne juicing, juice fountain juicing, Norwalk juicer, Vitamix, all of it. I was that chick that was breaking down, the maximum moisture hydration method in my vitamins, putting it on my hair because I was so paranoid about all of the different things that were in our food that were being, marketed to us as safe to put on our bodies that are absolutely not. This is quite some time ago. Food Inc. started me on it. And then that little non-GMO butterfly is what I looked for. And, just kept going down rabbit holes and rabbit holes. Thank goodness for the rabbit hole, because the rabbit hole got me to what my father always was telling me, that the ketogenic diet, or a diet which throws you into ketosis, is always going to be better. We work better off of fat. Our brains are full of fat. And if we starve our brains of fat and replace it with sugar, then the effects are not going to be good, as we see with our society right now with all these glyphosates and sugars and the straight addiction that Americans have to unhealthy food. But that is not even why I'm here. I just wanted to let y'all know that I haven't been, ignoring TikTok. The thing of the matter is, I didn't want to start a political TikTok, but here we are. I waited for so long. I voted for Donald J. Trump. I had full faith in Donald J. Trump. I believe in Donald J. Trump, but I did not want to hop back on here until I had something concrete to speak about the reasons why I voted. There have been many since the inauguration. Many moments I just wanted to jump on the internet and just start. Yay! And I did, I think, twice. But oh my goodness, this is why I voted. Okay, my father had a saying, time will tell about the surface in the wishing well. It's a wishing well. Whether it's deep or whether it's shallow, it's always going to be deep. You're throwing that coin in there and you're wishing. Okay? But time will tell about the surface. Only time will tell how deep this goes or these things go. It could be about anything. It could be about somebody saying that you did something and you know that you didn't do it. Only time will tell who's telling the truth. Oh my goodness, has that happened to me over and over and over again in my life? I cannot tell you how many times I've spoken the truth and got told in my face that I was lying. And the big determination to find out who's lying or where the truth lies has been time. You cannot beat time. The truth will always come to light. That's why if you speak the truth, you are truly free. Are y'all tired of being lied to? Are you tired of being lied to? I'm tired of being lied to. Today's news has been eye-opening, but I want to start with something that happened about a week or two ago. If y'all go back to my other videos, look at that one about the 300,000 plus children that are missing. They just disappeared. The Biden administration lost them. Okay? Where are the kids? That was my issue. The number one voting issue was what is in the best interest of myself and my children. The safety of children in this country is my number one issue. Myself, involved in a case right now, victim of CSA. That is what is in my best interest, to make sure that the law works for victims, specifically for children. Donald J. Trump has made it possible for the law to work. Their hands have been tied for decades. See, because the solicitors that perform these CSAs usually are people in power. Usually are your, local pastor, priest, deacon, what have you. Monuments in the community. Nurses, doctors, monuments in the community. Also, illegal immigrants that took advantage of the fact that there was a wide open border. Now we have intel about Diddy and one Mr. Fahim Mohammed, the Diddy case. Fahim Mohammed, Diddy's fixer. Lo and behold, during the Biden administration, with all that drama going on, Ian Carroll has showed us all. This man bought a 180-acre property right on the border. You could see the wall. I'm so happy that Ian Carroll is filling in for Candace Owens. I don't know what to tell you. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. All of my obsessions, starting from the Children's Defense Fund, to Food Inc., to the Non-GMO Project, to changing the way I eat, all of it is tying together on Candace Owens. And then the CSA, and the fact that these things, like I said before, they want us siloed. They all connect, y'all. They all connect. What I'm waiting for is somebody to speak on Tommy Robinson besides Tim Pool. And I will love Tim Pool forever for that. I am waiting on the world to react to the worst case of CSA in the United Kingdom at the hands of who? Go Google it and find out. Y'all, I'm here right now for America. And let's just look at my daughter's boyfriend right here, James O'Keefe. We love him in this household. I told you, it doesn't matter who you are. Who you are. I'm on the side of truth. Let's peep this right quick.
Yesterday, Attorney General of the United States Pam Bondi was at the White House and disclosed what she represented as brand new information in relation to Jeffrey Epstein. The existence of tens of thousands of videos featuring little children.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn.
Now, this is the first time.
Children, y'all. Children. Child. Yes. Rest in peace, Virginia Giuffre, or however you say it. Rest in peace to her, because she is no longer with us, involved deeply, a star witness to what Epstein did. She is a victim that was a victim of a prince, Andrew to be exact, right? So Virginia Giuffre is no longer with us. She got hit by a bus. It was a regular old fender bender, but she's out here making posts like, I just want to see my kids again. Who does that? Who's in a fender bender? No one. She's out here making posts. I am not suicidal whatsoever. I just want to see my kids again. And like 2-3 days later, boop, murked. Of course, they said that she was, suicidal, even though she said, I am not suicidal. Let's proceed.
First time an official has publicly acknowledged that videos of Epstein and his victims exist. What you may not know is just 9 days prior, the Attorney General had a very similar conversation with a total stranger in a restaurant.
Do you know when the Epstein files are going to get released?
We hope soon. The FBI has been
Okay.
So-
Any dates? No, you know what it is? There are tons and thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids. So they have to go through every one.
In the past, officials have spoken about the quote,
Why is she out here telling some rando more than she's telling the American people before she tells the American people? That's a problem. My trust is in cash.
in the Epstein case. But they've never, previous to that moment, acknowledged on the existence of videos of, quote, little kids. Just a few days later, at 2 p.m. on May 1st, our reporter sent the AG's office the text of the recording. We asked why this detail had not been disclosed to the public, but was instead being told to a random stranger at a restaurant. The Attorney General used almost the exact same language as she did with the stranger in the restaurant, language that we shared with her press office.
There are tons and thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn.
Now, we hesitated to publish this story, but believe, like we did yesterday, that the public has a right to know. And this one
Yes, we do.
raises serious questions. On one hand, why did our country's highest law enforcement official share this information first not with the American people, but with a self-described nanny
That part.
at brunch? But more importantly, why was this information held back in the first place? Does this show that a government apparatus is still working behind the scenes to protect powerful people involved in the scandal? Based upon the response to our Epstein story yesterday, it's clear that the American people want answers, and they want accountability.
Yes, we do. And that is the point. Accountability. I am so tired of horrible people being able to navigate through life, do horrible things, and not be held accountable for it. Namely, the Democrat Party. Like, honestly, in the last 4 years, there's so much that they need to be held accountable for. Like elder abuse. I told you all, I worked on the Dean Phillips campaign. We had intel that that man was being visited at the White House for Parkinson's. We had that intel. Everyone knew that. We'd call people in New Hampshire. The Democrats we called in New Hampshire did not have any faith in Joe Biden's ability to perform as the president. None whatsoever. Now we find out that the man was going through terminal cancer. Now, this is something that I know extensively about. These are my daddy's dog tags. This is my daddy's hat. That's my daddy. Because of the Agent Orange that coursed through his veins, all up in the thyroid, all everywhere, my father danced with prostate cancer for years, decades even. Most 82nd do. Because, you know, Agent Orange, Uncle Sam. All right? So we're not going to be out here trying to make people believe, especially if they have combat wounded veteran fathers who have dads with prostate cancer, who did round after round after round of chemo. You can't be out here saying stuff like that, like, oh, it just snuck up on. It's prostate cancer. He has a Gleason of 9. That's a death sentence. It's in the marrow. It takes a hot minute to get to that level with prostate cancer. You mean to tell me, I know Walter Reed ain't the best. I know the VA ain't the best. Trust. Had to go up in that bitch my whole entire life. It is not the best at all. But this is the president of the United States of America. Y'all trying to sell me this bridge that someone that has to go through extensive physical evaluation, that you all did not have any of this knowledge. For him to have a Gleason score or whatever it is at that point, at 9, he had it while he was the vice president. Okay? We have all these clips of Joe Biden out here literally alluding to the fact that he has cancer. It was a Build Back Better speech that he was giving, and he just let it all out. And people were supposed to think that that was just a slip of the tongue, or maybe, a slip of his mental faculties that he completely had, according to all the doctors when he was the president. So the thing of the matter is, this is elder abuse. They knew full well in 2020 that Joe Biden had cancer. They knew full well that he had Parkinson's. Are you really out here thinking that Democrats give a rip about you or your family when they don't even care about their leaders? Elder abuse irks me the most because I have older parents. My father was born in 1939 and my mama in that pretty. Ooh, they was good looking. But nonetheless, they were older than everybody. My mama in 1947. I always knew that I would be the kid with old parents. Like old parents. Like in my 20s, my parents are going to be old. And they were. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing. My father never, ever looked like he was older than any of the dads that were like 10, 15 years younger than him. He was always fitter than them. All of them. Not a one. All of them. But then again, that's the age. But my issue is they didn't care about your papa, your nana, your nanan, your grandpa, your grandma. They didn't care about them because they don't even care about their leaders that are in that classification. Joe Biden was riddled with cancer. Boom. Literally the marrow. And they still kept carting him out there, just like they did Dianne Feinstein. She was at Weekend at Bernie's. They were girls taking votes like this. Died in the daggone chair. They don't care about you. They don't care about your children. Laken Riley. I can't say her name enough. They didn't stand up at all for Laken Riley's mother and sister at the State of the Union. They stayed seated. They don't care if your child gets split apart. They don't care that you have to listen to your baby dying for 7 minutes by an illegal immigrant. A murderer should have never been here. And Democrats stayed seated. They voted against the bill. Every single one of them. Never forget it. Look how they jumped up and down on mics, fighting to keep illegal immigrants and criminals here. Literal criminals. Maryland, man, that makes me really sick. Once again, context, this man is not from Maryland. He was not born in Maryland. And his record in Maryland is that of a wife beater. What y'all in Maryland know about, let's keep it quiet as cat. Look at that fool went down there to have Mai Tais and margaritas with a wife beater. I wonder how his wife feels as a victim of domestic violence. The Democrats bend over backwards to have a abuser that's not even supposed to be here shipped back. It's disgusting. That's what they care about. They don't care about you. They care about a rule of law that will allow them to do whatever they want. So they need as many people as possible to vote for them. And if you open the border wide open, you're going to have people with allegiances to you, just like the Cuban community has an allegiance to the Republican Party and Ronald Reagan because he offered them freedom from the oppression of Fidel Castro. Okay? Why don't y'all learn a little bit of history? All right? It's more than Scarface, y'all. This is ridiculous how much people are willing to go along with as long as their team wins. You don't even care about your own leaders. Oh, my daddy's head. Y'all don't even care about your own leaders. Look how his wife just ushered him on The View to do a song and dance. And key. Joe was the best president. No, he wasn't. The worst president of my entire lifetimes. The worst liar I've ever seen in my entire life. Barack Obama was hopeful because he said things like, we need to build back the black family. Yeah, he did. Y'all go back and look. Yes, he did. He was encouraging black men to be back involved in the family. Let's do something about this fatherless thing and all this fatherless behavior. And that message is no longer a part of the Democratic Party. They don't want the Democrat Party. They don't even want you to have a kid. They want you to kill the next iteration of you. They don't care about your loved ones. They don't even care about their own leaders that are in the age group of your elderly loved ones. Elder abuse. This is what this is. Now, y'all carted Joe Biden out here to do all this stuff while he was dying. How does that feel? How does that feel? Oh, they're the party of love bombing. Love bombing. Love is love is love. Except for love. Love is love. Is love abusive of elderly people? Just so you can get what you want? Mafia? Like literally, they're pushing grandma over the cliff. Literally. Tea Party reference? Literally. Now, the problem with this is that this man was suffering a terminal illness for the last 4 years of his presidency. Bruh, nothing he did as president, everything with a fine-tooth comb, everything that he did as president needs to be evaluated. Do you really think that he was in his right mind going through a terminal illness, having Parkinson's, displaying dementia, and now it's to the bone? This man was dying. No one can make a good decision while dying. So all these pardons, revisit it, especially Fauci's. All this legislation that was enacted by him, well, I'm glad Daddy's home. My president, Donald J. Trump, pretty much took care of all of that in the first 100 days, all of Biden's cockamamie executive orders. Thank goodness for that. But this is just the beginning, you all. I am so excited. I am so elated and happy that Kash Patel is at the FBI, that Dan Bottigino is there. This is the team I have faith in. Not Pam Bondi. She looking sus right now. Boo-boo need to explain herself. But I don't throw the baby out with bathwater. This is exactly what I voted for. Polk County, Florida. Got me out here wanting to move to Davenport, Haines City, somewhere in Polk County. Right down the street where I vacationed every year of my life on Earlo Bronson Boulevard for Holiday Inn Vacation Clubs. Orange Lake, North Village. Shout out North Village. Gang, gang. But yes, got me wanting to move and live permanently where I vacationed every year growing up, thanks to my father's wise investment that we still can use. Don't be talking shit about timeshares. They're useful. But yeah, got me out here want to do that because look how many people, look how many predators were arrested in the sting. Fool around and find out. Sting. All human trafficking. 15%. Not even supposed to be here. Illegals. Not even supposed to be here. But soliciting children. Yes, indeed. This is what I voted for. I didn't vote for the stock market, even though it helps. Look at that tariff war that's been won so fast. Gave me Reagan bringing the USSR to its knees kind of vibes, but quicker. Donald J. Trump. I voted for all of it. I am happy. I am elated. I cannot wait for full transparency and accountability. Ooh, this Diddy stuff is heating up. Black people, is this your culture? Is what you're hearing at the Diddy trial your culture? No, it is not. You know it's not. I know it's not. So stop letting these people walk around and say that rap music is just reporting what's on the street. It's Black culture. Stop telling me what my culture is. That is not my culture. I do not claim that culture. I am so happy to see all of these people go down. It is long overdue. I am so happy. I voted for this, y'all. We voted for this. This is real change. It's getting great again. For sure. For sure. Always. It's getting great again. I'm so happy. And I still love JK. Y'all have a good one.